Hello everyone, this is Q-Learning Survey Project Update number 5. This week's update is less about one big technical result and more about coordination, timeline, and preparing the project for the next phase. The main theme is that we are moving from reading papers and making slides toward a more concrete writing workflow. This week was relatively quiet, but we still had useful progress across multiple tracks. Alf said he will have an update next week, which is important because the next meeting will focus on the Markdown-to-LaTeX draft pipeline. Divya has been synchronizing with Hamna on Atari benchmark work, so the benchmark track is continuing after the coverage heat map. Logan sent in 2 new continuous control papers and said he will make another slide deck, which should deepen the branch of the modern Q-learning taxonomy. Charles said he will soon join the meetings again, which is good for the verification side of the project. So even without a full technical meeting, the project is still moving forward. Next week, the main focus will be Alp's walkthrough of the GitHub draft pipeline. The key idea is that the paper draft is organized in Markdown files, and the repository can convert those Markdown files into LaTeX and then fed into the full PDF draft. This matters because we want everyone to know how their contributions can enter the actual manuscript. Right now, many contributions exist as slides, notes, summaries, paper lists, or diagrams. The pipeline walkthrough should help us turn these materials into editable paper sections. It will also make asynchronous contribution easier. Once everyone understands the folder structure and editing workflow, people can add or revise sections without needing to wait for a live meeting. Now, there are 3 main tracks to highlight this week. First, the benchmark track. Hamna already built the Atari coverage heat map, and Divya has been synchronizing with her. The next natural step is to connect the heat map to protocol metadata and benchmark interpretation. Second, the continuous control track. Logan sent 2 new papers and plans to make another slide deck. This is useful because continuous action Q-learning has become one of the major branches in our modern Q-learning map. We need to understand not only basic methods such as NAF and QTOPT, but also newer work involving action generation, candidate ranking, and pre-trained robot policies. And third, verification and integration. Charles said he will soon join the meetings again, which is important because the revised survey needs careful claim checking. A survey can only be strong if the synthesis is supported by verified citations and accurate comparisons. Overall, each track now has a clearer next step. Now let's give a rough timeline, and this is the one I suggested for next 3 months. Next week, we focus on pipeline walkthrough. Ideally, app can also make a simple README so everyone knows how to add or edit Markdown files and compile the draft. In late July, we can start actually editing the Markdown sections. This does not mean every section has to be perfect immediately. The goal is to start moving useful material from notes and slides into the manuscript structure. August should be the main integration month. This is where we convert paper summaries, benchmark analysis, diagrams, and technical notes into draft text. Early September should focus on verification, such as checking citations, claims, benchmark numbers, years, and terminology. And late September can then be used for polishing, consistency, and preparing a strong revised draft. I think the important framing is that the end of September should mean a strong revised draft, not necessarily a perfect final version. And finally, this week's message. The main message is that the project is entering a new phase. Earlier, we are mostly reading papers, making slides, and building conceptual structure. That was necessary because the original review comments asked us to go beyond the descriptive survey. Now we are moving towards shared structure, markdown sections, and a verified manuscript. The benchmark track is becoming an evidence map effort. The continuous control track is becoming a deeper technical branch. The pipeline walkthrough will help turn individual contributions into manuscript sections, and timeline gives us a realistic path towards the revised draft. So this week was quiet, but it clarified the next phase: coordination, integration, and verified writing. Thank you, everyone, and that's it for this week.